Yes, you eat plants, which Mia did explain that. Very good, Mia. When you eat their leaves and stems and juices, when you eat their seeds and fruit and flowers, you eat my energy, my living life. And plants do even more than give you food. Remember how in photosynthesis, the green plants breathe out oxygen? What happens to that oxygen? It fills the air. All the oxygen you living creatures breathe comes from green plants. Breathe in. Feel the oxygen flow through your nose, your mouth, all through your body. Oxygen is a gift from the plants to you. Your body uses oxygen together with the sugars from the plants. Your body burns them slowly to make the energy you use to move and grow and live. Without plants, you would have no oxygen. Without plants, you would have no food. Without plants, you could not live. Without plants, there would be no life on earth. Now, I know we already discussed a little bit about how the author uses the sun's perspective to tell the story. But now the story is a little bit further along, and I'd like you to turn and talk one more time and see if you can think of anything else that the author might do to help tell the story from the perspective of the sun to keep it an interesting story. All right, you guys ready to regroup again? Can anybody think of anything else?
Plants, like the sun gives plants energy and that gives off oxygen to us.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? One more person? Go ahead.
About the plants, you wouldn't have, I could say you don't have any duty.
Mm-hmm. So the author tries to keep you intrigued by showing you things that we need from plants, which the plants need the sun. Okay, so now breathe out. It is not oxygen that you exhale. When you use the sugars from the plants for energy, the sugars break apart inside your body, changing back into water and carbon dioxide. So now you breathe out carbon dioxide and the plants all breathe in. They will use it to build more sugar, food for themselves and for other living things. So you see, life keeps circling round and round on your planet Earth through photosynthesis and through yourselves. You share life with everything alive. Lay your hand over your heart and feel. Feel my light inside of you. You hold my light and make it live. You are living sunlight. Yeah. Let's think together about what this book taught us about how we can write from a different perspective. What can we as writers do to write well from another perspective? How do you think the sun's perspective helped to make the story more meaningful and fun to read? James?
Because it's actually talking to you, it's not just giving you facts.
Mm-hmm.
It's like telling you that I have a secret that I'm keeping from you, and when someone has a big secret that they're keeping from you, you want to learn what it is.
Right, you want to know what they're keeping from you, right?
If you were younger and you didn't really know about all this stuff, and that you would read that, you would think it would be really cool because probably most of that stuff you would know.
Right, exactly. Carter?
So, it helps it make sense because if it says if it was the sun speaking and if it never said that, it wouldn't really make sense.
Mm-hmm. Edison?
Like Eric said, it gives you a lot of facts about the sun.
And it gives it to you in an interesting way. It's not just listing them off. And yeah, okay, very good. So if I were to ask you to write a story about, say, farms, okay? and I told you to choose a perspective to write from. You could write from a couple different perspectives. Does anybody want to say what kind?
Want me to write from third person?
So you could write a perspective from, like, say, the farmer, or you could use an animal to write a perspective for what the animal feels, sees, or eats. You could also use maybe a piece of farming equipment, anything like that. So why don't you guys, I want you guys to try and talk to your neighbor one last time and discuss whose perspective you would take from, if you were writing a story about a farm, why you would take their perspective, and maybe one or two things that you would definitely put in your story. What was that? Okay, like free group, guys. Can I get some volunteers? Raise your hands if you want to share whose perspective you would take, why, and maybe one or two things you would definitely include. Katie?
I kind of go from a cow's perspective because they're usually one of the most useful animals on a farm, from my opinion. I would include like what the farmer does with the cow, and what normal stuff goes on in the farm.
Good, that's a good example. One more person or two more people? Harder?
I would do like how the farmer grows crops. I'd be like one of the crops, I think, and I would like tell about how how it gets about what goes about on the farm and how like the crops get planted and stuff and get shipped to like the groceries.
Very good. That's a really good one. One more person? Go ahead.
I would be perspective from like the farmhouse, and I would include like what they said I was keeping a secret from you and all that stuff, because that like really makes them want to read more.
Good. Ruby, did you want to share? Sorry, I didn't know what for a second. No? You sure? Okay. One more person. Go ahead, Mia.
I think mine would be on horses because people rely on them to transport things, and especially like people, because like Amish people use them for carriages, to pull their carriages around the farm, and what goes on and what they eat.
Very good. So if you ever have like times to write, like free write or something like that, or next time you write a story, maybe you guys would want to try writing from the perspective of something other than yourself to tell the story, and try and use some of the things that we learned, writing techniques we learned through this book, and incorporate it in your story. James?
A lot of times when I write, well, unless it's like schoolwork, I usually write in first person. Because a lot of the books I read are in first person.
Yep, and you could take it and write it from the perspective of something else, though, right? Not just yourself. Very good. So try and do that when you have time to do free writing, okay? All right, thank you.